What's going on, guys? I'm Lakota from MYR Mediums, and this is vlog number 6. When I was a young boy, my father told me that artists never make any money until after they're dead. And that was the end of that. I never thought of being an artist as a viable career path ever again. Until I was in my late teens and it hit me that the crazy stuff that you see on album covers was done by an artist. The illustrations in some of my favorite graphic novels are done by an artist. That horrifying painting that used to hang up in my local McDonald's was done by an artist. And you know what? Somebody's probably paying them. You can make money doing what you love. It's true, you don't have to be a starving artist. I started off with no idea how to market myself. I had no fans other than my wife, and I had no idea who to talk to about these things. But for the better part of a decade, I have been selling my work consistently on the internet and even in real life. I may not be able to tell you how to make any money on OnlyFans, but I think I can steer you in the right direction on how to start selling your artwork. First off, and I want to make this very clear, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is work, and it's hard work. With all the social media platforms out there, people can discover 500 new artists on Instagram in a week. You are a very small fish in a very big pond. So don't overprice your work. I have heard this a million times from other artists. Don't sell yourself short, man. This is a job and you deserve to get paid what you want. And 9 times out of 10, the person who is telling me this is flat broke. Now, you do not start a new job and expect your paycheck to match that of your manager or your CEO. But if you put in the work, then eventually you can work up to that. When starting out, you have to keep in mind that nobody knows who you are. There are plenty of people out there who are willing to buy artwork from an unknown artist, but the average consumer wants to buy what they know, which means that they are more apt to pay bigger money for a print from a bigger named artist rather than a high-priced original from somebody they have never heard of. I have seen good artists slap $2,000 onto a piece of artwork that they put 12 hours into start to finish. And then nobody wants to buy it. And then they complain saying, oh, no one wants to buy my artwork. And then they refuse to lower their price and continue to not sell their artwork. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I just have yet to find somebody with this conviction who has a success story. So how should you price your work? This is the basic formula that most people use. It is the price of your materials plus your time. I work mostly with watercolors, so this is what my formula would look like. A new pack of watercolors, my markers, and a new pad of watercolor paper, plus an hourly rate that I wanted to pay myself, which when I was starting out, I think that my hourly rate was like $10 an hour. So if it took me 4 hours to complete the piece, that's $40 for my time, $8 for the pad of paper, $20 for a pack of new markers, and $4 for my watercolors, which comes to $72, which I would then round up to $75. And that's a good price for somebody who's just starting out. First of all, it's under $100, so you're already going to attract someone's attention. And check this out. You only used 1 sheet of paper out of this whole pad. If there's 40 sheets in a pad at $8, that's 2 cents a sheet of paper. Most likely you didn't use all the ink in your markers, and there's probably enough paint left for like 5 more pieces. So in all reality, your hourly rate is actually much higher than just $10 an hour. And if your painting doesn't sell at the price that you came up with using this formula, then you can lower it and you're still making profit. And this is just the beginning. Over time, you're going to raise your prices. I think within the year, I was charging $25 an hour instead of $10. People make the mistake of getting too attached to what they're working on, which then drives them to give it a higher price. And that's great and all, but you're really just hurting yourself. You want your stuff to sell. Creating just to create is a great thing. But if you want to make a living at it, like, you have to actually sell your artwork. Number 2, reach out in your local music scene. If you live on planet Earth, then there's a good chance that you live in or near a town. And one thing that most towns have is a music scene. It may not be big, it may not be glamorous, but it exists. There are groups of people gathering to play music near you. And what is one thing that local bands are almost guaranteed to have? Horrible album covers. It's usually something like a picture of them standing on train tracks or in front of an abandoned house, looking edgy or philosophical. In other words, boring. Offer to design their album covers or their merch. Here's the beautiful thing about working with bands. It's a symbiotic relationship. You are both struggling artists in your own right. Your job is to design eye-catching imagery that will entice people to pick up their album or their t-shirt. They are going to put your image in front of a larger audience that may have otherwise never known you existed, because they're not searching for new artists on Instagram, they're searching for new music. On top of that, other bands will probably see your work on their stuff and ask, hey man, who designed your album cover? Who did your shirt designs? And how much did they charge? Which brings up a good point. How much do you charge? You have to keep in mind that when working with small bands, they are not going to have a lot of money. They're paying for gas to gigs, new equipment, and probably lots of beer. But they are going to be reproducing your intellectual property for their own gains. So this is how I went about it in the beginning. I used the formula materials plus my time, and then I doubled it, and then I negotiated from there. Usually, you will both come to a price that you agree on, and it will also normally be higher than what you would get for an individual piece. As time goes on, you will again raise your price as you get more work. Number 3, eBay. This is a platform that most new artists do not consider, but I actually learned how to price my work off of eBay auction sales. As a matter of fact, my first sale was on eBay. I was on vacation in Florida and I couldn't sleep one night, and we had the internet at the house that we were staying in, and I just thought, to pass the time, I'm gonna list my artwork on eBay and just see what happens. I set the base price using the formula of materials plus time. I listed 5 paintings and put them up there and let it go. And 3 of my paintings sold. The first one sold at base price, the second one sold at double the price, and the third one sold for almost triple what I had listed it at. My mind was blown. These were not good paintings. They were very amateur acrylic paintings that I didn't think anybody was going to want, which is kind of why I threw them up there. I was like, yeah, I'll take a chance on these and just see what happens. As a matter of fact, I still have pictures of those paintings, and here they are. Now, you're not going to be successful every time, but it can happen, and it can happen fairly often. The biggest success that I ever had on eBay was I had painted this it was a small wood piece. It took me like, I think, an hour from start to finish, and I threw it up on eBay for $10. Let it go for 7 days, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't like ruining surprises, so I just set it for 7 days and then forgot about it. On the last day, there was a bidding war on it, and I don't know why, because it really wasn't that great of a piece, but apparently some people liked it, and it ended up selling for just under $400. So yeah, crazy things can happen on eBay. And the great thing about using the auction system is that you never lose out on money. If $50 is the lowest amount that you will take for a painting, then you set your base price at $50 and it will only sell at that price or higher. Because of eBay, I've actually had galleries from other countries buy my artwork through their global shipping program, which was awesome, because that was also the first time that happened was pretty early on. I think I'd only been painting seriously for maybe 3 years, and I was shipping my artwork overseas to a gallery, which brings me to the next thing on the list: reach out to small galleries. Getting into galleries early on is not an unreasonable goal. When most people think of art galleries, they imagine a bunch of art snobs sneering at boring portraits and abstract art with names like Breakfast with Turmoil or something like that. Truth be told, there are plenty of really good independent galleries all across America that frequently feature amateur artists. They'll post up something called a call for artists on their websites. They can have themed shows, or they may just want to fill a spot on the wall. Go to Google and look for these because it's a great way to get your art in front of people. And that is what this is about, getting your artwork in front of people, developing an audience. If the gallery sells your work, then they'll take a small cut and send you the rest. If it doesn't sell, then they'll just ask that you pay for the return shipping and send it back to you. You can even take it a step further. I've actually reached out to cafes and tattoo shops, and a lot of the time they'll just let you throw your stuff up on their walls because it's free decoration for them. You can also offer them a 10% cut if they allow you to sell your artwork in their shops. Networking, people! It doesn't always have to happen on the internet. Number 5. Take commissions. This seems like a no-brainer, but if you have Facebook or Instagram, post up that you're taking commissions. And don't turn them down because somebody requested something that you are scared to paint. Commissions are a great way to make you think outside of your own box. They can push you into new territories and make you paint things that you otherwise would have never thought to paint. Use the formula materials plus your time to set your price. Request half the money up front and then the other half on completion. It helps to run it like a special also. To give an example, like even today, if I'm going to be taking commissions, I will set a price for a certain size. So $75 for an 8x10 watercolor painting. This helps get your customers interested because they know the price up front. And people are much more apt to order something if they know the price ahead of time. Number 6, make merch. Another way to make a little more money is reproduction. Make prints, make stickers, make shirts. Prints are great because they are relatively cheap to make. You can run up to FedEx or Kinko's and make a run of 20 prints on a decent matte cardstock for under $20. Actually, I think you can do it for under $15. So you make 20 prints, turn around, charge $10 for each print, and there you go. You've got the potential to make $200 and you never have to sell the original. Plus, people love artwork that they can slap on their skateboards, their guitar cases, their car's bumper. So stickers are a great way to make, a little passive income off of your artwork. Printing shirts can be a little bit more money up front, but it's definitely worth it because people love wearing artwork. I think whenever we made our first run of shirts for NYR Mediums, it was just a single color. It was a black design. It was the Creep King logo. I think we spent $120 on the actual order, and we charged $20. No, $15 or $20 a shirt. And we sold out in 24 hours, which we made triple what we spent to order them. Make shirts! Last but not least, and I feel like I shouldn't even have to say this, but use social media. You're already using it, so make it work for you. This just boils down to don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Join art groups on Facebook. There's thousands of them. You can meet a crap ton of new artists. Learn what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them. Learn from them. Iron sharpens iron. You also need to figure out the right hashtags to use on Instagram to get your artwork in front of the right audience. And another thing is, and this is very important, prepare to be criticized and sometimes harshly. And whenever I say prepare for it, this is what I mean. If it's constructive criticism and it's coming from a peer, prepare to consider it. If it's not constructive and it seems to be coming from a keyboard troll, then prepare to ignore it because it's just coming from somebody who doesn't like what you do or what you did, and that's honestly none of your business. You can't please everybody, and most people's opinions are useless. Another important thing to do is when you sell something, post it up as sold on Facebook. Just a picture of it with, the name of the piece and then put in parentheses sold. This may seem trivial and a bit like bragging, but this is actually what it does. It is showing other people that somebody saw that you have a talent worth paying for, and that gets people interested. You can get somebody that you haven't talked to since 8th grade, look at your page and see that and think, wow, man, maybe they've got something going on here. Maybe I should buy something while it's still affordable. I would say that this is along the lines of fake it till you make it, but there's really nothing fake about it. You have the talent and you have the potential, but you just have not been put in front of enough of the right audience yet. All right, guys, these 7 things are the stepping stones for you to start making money off of your artwork. As you grow as an artist, you're going to learn 100 things, probably 500 things to help you grow your art business, but these were the steps that I took that got me selling consistently early. And I think that they would work for pretty much anybody. Being an artist or an illustrator is a beautiful thing because the pieces that you create are a part of you and you get to share that with other people. But to be successful and actually end up working for yourself and making a living off of this, you have to come at it with a business mindset at least some of the time. And you have to be diligent about promoting yourself. I hope this video helped you in some way. And if it did, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Lakota2688 there. Anyway, thank you for watching. God bless and have a wonderful day.